We are building a modern day classic. Now, what I mean by that is a bike that if you're reminiscent about the good old days of when rim brakes and that sort of thing, then this is like a slight nod to those that are modern curious. Now, a good way of thinking about this is something like the Mini Cooper, those old ones, you know, when the door seams were like external and those lights were outside the grille and it was all very mechanical process, or maybe the 911 from Porsche. But now you look at the modern versions of them, still quintessentially a Mini and still recognisable as one, but now has things like electronics, engine management systems, disc brakes. And if you were driving on a motorway at 70 miles an hour in an old Mini Cooper in today's traffic, I don't think you'd feel very comfortable rattling along with your teeth getting shaken out. But the modern day Mini is composed, really nice, safe ride. That is how we can think about this sort of ride, if you like. Still that sort of traditional kind of look, but with modern electronic gears, hydraulic brakes, that sort of thing. But we still want to keep this light and rigid as we remember. So the Time Alp D'Huez is a fantastic frame to start with, and his gloss carbon black is a real nod to those early days of carbon. You know, you can think about the Tom Boonen, Tommy Vogler riding these in the Tour de France's in the early stages of their career. Fantastic, really stiff but very comfortable ride to start from. And remember, this frame is all resin transfer molded, built in with Dyneema, lots of different types of modulus of carbon as well. And the steerer tube has that really reassuring reinforcement with Kevlar as well. Fantastic. The big story with this is we're trying to get this as light as possible. So we're doing a superb build with some really lightweight materials. We have gone for Tune. This is the ClimbHill and the KillHill, all the way around, I can't remember. Beautiful lightweight hubs, typical German engineering, beautiful, and they've taken the opportunity to put a drill into almost anywhere they can to save some weight. I mean, these are just absolutely beautiful. I'll show you these as we build. Building these with the Sapim CX Ray spokes front and back. It's a lightweight rider, so we do not have to worry about stiffness. Brass nipples, and these are the rims that we have chosen. So these look unbranded, but they're actually made by Venn, a 30mm deep, and these are the super light versions. So these are the, rather than being filament wound, these are hand laid pre-preg, so you can see all the reinforcements around the spoke holes. So there's only got reinforcement where it needs it and not unilaterally around the whole of the rim. So I think by my calculations, these are going to add up to a wheel set under 1400 grams, but we'll measure that once we're done. Of course, the classic Ultegra 12-speed Di2 group set, we've spoken about that absolutely loads. And then for the finishing kit, we are keeping with an aluminium bar. This is the Deda DCR 100, about as lightweight as an aluminium bar gets. A carbon seat post from Deda, and we are using the Superbox stem. We're going to use this in the configuration where most of the cables are going to be hidden, but just have a little cable out here, so it means that the user can still take the handlebars off, pack it into a bike box when they go on their holidays. This user had absolutely no intention of running tubeless, so we have got the classic Grand Prix 5000s in a size 28 with some lovely lightweight TPU tubes. I think this is going to build up into a beautiful lightweight bike, but I'm not building it. Today we're going to hand over to our pro wheel builder, Mr. Atkinson, straight back from international duties. Also fabulous wheel builder. I'm sure he's going to do a fantastic job. And Jake, who's currently behind the camera, is going to be taking you through the full build with the GoPro as he prepares for his attempt to maintain his title at the Three Peaks. Right, let's get cracking.
Here we have the lesser spotted Jake Atkinson.
Build the rear wheel first, right?
Back from his travels across Europe, he sits down on the sofa with a can of Monster.
I didn't know you could read. I can't. Okay, so I've now got the wheels finished. It'll have just been some footage of me lacing them up. Unfortunately, I got a bit carried away truing them up and didn't really film much, but now they're all laced up and tensioned up. We've got some stats here of what I've actually built them to. So the spokes, we've got a huge amount of like tolerance of how tight or loose we can run them. The hub is slightly limited to 112 kilos. So these wheels I've built to 107 kilograms of force on the spokes in tension. That was with the tyre on. When you fit the tyre, it adds like a force around the outside of the rim, which decreases the tension slightly. So there's slightly more tension on them right now because there's no tyre on. So yeah, but they're all built up. They're trued within 0.2 millimeters, so fairly straight.
And how were they to build? Easy? Hard?
Yeah, super nice wheels to build actually, like laced up really easy, and also truing them was super nice.
Yeah,
so.
they're super stiff, aren't they? They're hardly any work to them.
Stiff, yeah. Very excited to see how light they are.
Yeah, let's do it.
Moment of truth, will they be under 1.4?
Under 1.4 is the target.
1355.
1355 with tape. That's insane. Both wheels, I think the customers will be well happy with that.
Now then, so today we are going to be fitting 12-speed Di2 to this bad boy, which is semi-wireless, not fully wireless like SRAM, but semi-wireless. So that means that the shifters are completely wireless, so there's 2 batteries in each shifter, and they connect wirelessly to the rear derailleur, which then goes to the battery via a cable. So we are going to need to do some internal routing with this bad boy. Kindly time ship a quite lovely battery cover, as you can see here, which is a Deda part that goes on the Di2 batteries to go inside the seat post. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of routing with the new little cables through the frame to get everything plumbed in.
Okay, so this is how far Jake managed to get before he'd gone ahead and sprained his ankle, and now he's off work. Just before the Three Peaks cyclocross as well, absolutely gutted for him. But I've intervened because we're about to fit the bottom bracket. Now, a question that loads of you ask is fitting these, because you've actually come across a few problems, because you're probably not used to seeing something so accurate. In fact, time bottom brackets are beautifully smooth, and they're normally exactly 46 millimeters, which does have some problems because sometimes actual bottom brackets can be a little bit undersized. So it's still worth measuring. Now on this one is a good example, because on this side we have got something like 45.99, and on this side I think we're at 46.0 something, so it's slightly oversized potentially. In fact, yeah, just tiny little smidge over that 0, so almost exactly 46 millimeters. So we have to make sure we find a bottom bracket that is also 46 millimeters. And for that, you really should have a micrometer. Now, we've been having really good experience with Rotor. This is their ceramic one. I know a lot of you will be fitting Hambini bottom brackets, which I can assure you are exactly 46 millimeters, but these are definitely worth checking, and I'm happy that this is 46. So we've got a good fit combination, so worth measuring. Now, because these bottom brackets are so accurate, a Hambini bottom bracket isn't necessarily going to give you a massive performance upgrade over, say, something where you've got to correct the alignment. So these are going to be absolutely fine, but we do need to think about fitting them. So we are going to be using the Loctite 7649 and a medium strength retaining compound, because we only have a very small gap to fill. On the Rotor BB, we can see where that groove is. That groove is designed for any excess retaining compound. So let's squeeze this in. It's important, wipe off any excess. So this activator, loads of you ask why we use it. It's more used when you've got inert materials, such as carbon fibre, which is essentially inert, or certain types of anodized aluminium. You're actually going to need to use it. If you've just got bare aluminium surfaces, probably don't need to use it. But as always, follow the instructions, and if the instructions aren't going to solve the problem, reach out to the guys at Henkel. The website is fantastic, the chat forum is fantastic. They will talk you through the right things to use. So always check. Just from the box where they put the grease in here, this is also just a slightly dirty surface, so I'm just going to make sure this is all clean so that we get a good bond. You really don't want any grease. Any sort of grease on here will destroy the retaining compound's properties. So, now I know it says on here for BB Right, it's not for BB Right, it's just a straightforward 46 millimeters to a 24 millimeter converter, and that's just happened that Rotor have marked it with BB Right, which is a little bit confusing. So there's a few little brake hoses to navigate ourselves past. This is Loctite 7641. It's very low viscosity, with a fairly long cure time. You just need to run that around and try and get right up against the leading edge, the edge that you're about to squeeze in, so that it's drawn back. I've seen, like, there's no point putting it up here. You need to be right up against that edge. It should go in nice and easily. And we're just looking for completely closing that down. That looks nice. Now the important thing is, I think what people forget is it needs a curing time. So I don't really like fitting cranks and cranksets and moving this around until I know it's cured. And this one's got a cure time of about 20 minutes. So right now it's time to go and grab a brew, or maybe fit the saddle or do some other jobs while we leave that alone to do its curing. Here we go then, build is completed. Doesn't this look so smart and sophisticated? Really, really love how it's sort of come out. All the sort of the gunmetal grey of the Ultegra all works together. We've put a load of effort into finding saddles that work for the customer and kind of match with all the colours as well. Now the big story about this is those wheels that we built. So they came in at around 1,300 quid and about 1,300 grams, which I think is just fantastic, and they suit this bike so well. It means that the entire bike, as you see it right now, is just 7.4 kilograms. I'll talk you through the build spec so you understand where that's all coming from. So of course, those tune hubs, CX-ray spokes, then these are the 30 TCD Superlight rims, 350 grams per rim. In here we've got the Pirelli Superlight tubes and the Grand Prix 5000 in a 28, so the whole system is nice and light. The Ultegra 12-speed Di2 group set we're familiar with in the compact gearing, because we do live here in the Lake District, remember. The bottom bracket is from Rotor. This is the 46 to a 24mm adapter, so we can make this work really beautifully, and it spins like, look at that, hardly any friction in that at all. Absolutely beautiful. On the seat post here, we've gone for the Deda SuperZero. This is a slightly heavy seat post, but it does look fantastic. So there's tiny little bit of weight to save there. And this is a ProLogo saddle with the titanium rails. So there is a little bit of weight to save here in a saddle with a lighter weight chassis, lighter weight rails. Down here at the front, of course, we've got our favourite Superbox stem. It just works so well with this time frame, especially if you need to add a little bit of space here. Now, if you do want to save some weight on your build, you can actually use a much lighter stem and then run the cables externally. It takes a little bit of weight out of that. It does mean that the cables are a bit more exposed, but if you're going to completely slam it and cut it and get rid of all the weight and really run this as a race bike, you can really save quite a lot of weight up there. Now also with the handlebars, we've gone for the Deda Zero 100s. Now these are an aluminium bar because we like that confidence. If we are going to race it, you're crashing handlebars, you're potentially dropping it, getting involved in crashes, and the handlebars are a vulnerable place. Having an aluminium handlebar really does put a lot of confidence back into the rider's mind. And we've actually gone for a ProLogo. This is like the slightly grippy, sort of rubberized textured bar tape. It's fantastic for sort of wet, sweaty hands, but it is slightly heavy, so we could go for a cork one and just save those extra few grams if we really wanted to. So I think as it is, this is a really good, practical, lightweight build, but probably with a little bit of extra thought, I think it could tip the scales under that magic 7 kilograms. But what I like about it most is classic time. Those logos, this is a race bike, remember. Race bikes are all about big logos and colours and stuff like that. If you don't like the colours, this plain lacquer is a real homage to Time's heritage, and I think it looks absolutely stunning. We have all really enjoyed building this bike. It's an absolute stunner. Please let us know what you think down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends all about it, and of course, knock us up with all your ideas. What would you change? What would you swap out? And yeah, let's just learn down there in the comments. All right, till the next one, take it easy.
It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait no, it's living with no shame. Wait no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well I just wanna be happy, how to get there? Glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done, cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. Living life, everyday, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days.